I'm going to open this. Pour one out for my homies.
Don't drink it yet.
I won't.
I'm curious to see how good it is or bad.
I'm going with the how bad it is.
How bad is it? You do not have high hopes for this, do you?
No. I want to, but it's a little cloudy. So I don't know.
We shall see.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I'm Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What up, Randy?
What is up?
Oh, fist pumping over there.
I'm excited. I'm back.
We are. You are. We are. I am. All of us. Yeah.
Back from vacation.
Back from vacation. We took a little field trip today.
Yeah. We've had some shout outs over the last couple weeks.
We did.
Had a guy, I got a text from one of my cousins that said bro. And then a few seconds later, another one that said bro. And then he said, hey, I'm out with another buddy of mine. I'm trying to preserve names. I don't think it would matter. And there's a guy here that was talking about podcasts and said he listens to the Buckhorn podcast.
And his name is Jeffrey Ontario.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
I was trying to find where I was messaging you like, hey, somebody listens to us. I was in Tennessee for vacation when I got these messages, and I just looked back through where I was messaging you. I can't find it.
I have it.
You got it? Yeah, I want to give him a shout out.
Yeah, I'll give the dude a shout out.
He's from Westerville. They sent me Snapchats of him mentioning several things from different episodes, so.
But we don't know who he is.
He said he met me up there when I was eating dinner with my buddy Otero one time or something, and said he listened to the show, and thank you.
Yeah,
there he is.
There he is.
But I can't see where I sent his name. I thought I sent you a screenshot of his name. No name mentioned there.
No name.
Yeah, so
I said it was staged, but
I thought it was staged, but they sent videos of him mentioning things from the show.
Josh something? Is that it?
Oh yeah, Josh Paget.
So hey, Josh.
Thanks for listening. Yeah.
Leave us a review and share the show.
Yeah, get on. And we actually just met some new folks that said they're going to listen.
Yeah, so Randy and I took a trip over to Outerbelt Brewery here in Carroll to try their Black IPA that they just released. And it was fantastic. It was
okay.
Yeah, Randy I liked it more than Randy did.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. It was very dark and very hoppy. Was that a stout?
No, it was an IPA.
IPA?
Black IPA.
Yeah, it was Black IPA. That's racist. It was an African-American IPA.
Yeah, so
we got one of their little teeny tiny sampler glasses from Sarah over there. And it wasn't bad necessarily. You liked it.
I did. I liked it. It was very roasty and sweet.
It wasn't as bad as a lot of IPAs. It
didn't taste like an IPA to me.
If you're a listener, you know I'm not a beer guy. I don't go for it. But I tasted it. Martelle wanted to do a tasting on a review. It was definitely better than most IPAs I've had. I will say that it's better than most dark beers I've tasted.
Yeah, it was a combination of it. It was super dark.
What did we say about it? You took
the
notes.
Name Black IPA.
Yeah.
So what you said about it was hoppy, not heavy, doesn't taste like a dark beer, but it has a strong aftertaste.
Yeah. There was it was smooth. I didn't have to chew it or use a fork and knife to consume it like a lot of dark beers.
No, it was very
it was light for a dark beer, I thought. But that aftertaste stuck with me.
It was
until I took another drink of it.
It was very heavy.
We didn't have a big glass. We had a little thing, but yeah, it was
a very heavy roasted.
Yeah.
Aftertaste. They came with it like chestnuts on an open fire.
Yeah. 'tis the season.
Right. So
Put your notes on a fire.
Use that reference. Yeah, I said it was roasty and tasty, had a sweet upfront taste with a heavy aftertaste.
Okay.
And that heavy aftertaste is that roasty, like kind of stuck with you in the back of your throat taste.
So how many donuts?
I kind of like, because that's more of a...
It's got legs. It's just sticking in your throat. I don't even know what the
percentage was on that. I
don't
ask.
either. I didn't. Yeah.
I should have asked Sarah what it was. So shout out to Microbrew Mama on Instagram. Check her out.
Just met Sarah. Very nice. Very friendly. Definitely a people person.
Yeah, she
great. Loves people.
Loves people. Loves to hate people. But that was really good. So definitely check that one out if you're heading over, if you're down in the Carroll area, or if you're just doing some kind of brewery hop or following the 33 brew trail. Outerbelt is probably my favorite brewery in the area. I mean,
it was a good place too.
Yeah, it's an really old Lowe's. Cool. It's an old Lowe's building.
Yeah, very open, easy to move around, lots of seating.
Yeah, lots of seating, lots of place to play.
Yeah,
like there's games in the back. Like they have a skee ball and some other stuff.
It was like a wood.
They do cornhole tournaments over there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like inside.
It was a pretty cool place.
It is definitely one of my favorite breweries, and there's a lot of breweries around. I mean, we have Rock Mill Brewery, we have Combustion, Loose Rail, Brewdog, Double Edge.
Yeah, they're all within like 15, 20 minutes tops of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in like this hub of breweries.
A bubble, a brewery bubble.
Yeah, and Outerbelt is without a doubt my favorite. But we also had another sample over there while we were there called the Double Dippin.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call it the Dippin' Dots.
The Dippin' Dots. But this one, you said it's less hoppy, vanilla, and mint. So and this was a chocolate mint stout.
Yeah.
So this is other end of the spectrum.
Chocolate vanilla, I thought she said. I tasted
chocolate mint vanilla with a hint of vanilla in it.
It's a sweeter.
But this is like the opposite end of an IPA. So you have IPAs are typically light and hoppy. Stouts are more heavy, like roasted, like coffees and
chestnuts.
Chestnuts on an open fire. But stouts are heavy and dark. And these were both very dark beers.
Yeah, you could not see through them. But it wasn't like a Guinness, though. I liked the Dippin' Dots. I really liked.
It wasn't super thick like a Guinness, or it was kind of in between, say, a Guinness and this Black IPA.
Yeah.
But you specifically said you didn't catch the mint on it.
No, that's why you were reading that at first. You said that I said chocolate and mint. I think you meant chocolate and vanilla.
No, chocolate mint.
Because I didn't catch the mint.
Because I had said something to Sarah. I said, hey, she goes, are you get the mint on it? And you said no. And I said it tastes like an Andes Candies up front, and then it has a more of a heavy roasted flavor towards the end.
Yeah. It was very smooth, though.
But that one, I think I liked. I can't say I liked it more than the IPA because they're two different beers. But
yeah,
drinking those two,
it's like comparing apples and hops.
Right. I would have, if I was doing it again, because I've had them, I would probably choose the Double Dippin' over the Black IPA.
I would
just because of the mint flavor. Like I could taste it.
I like that one as hoppy.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't like the hoppy skunky. I call it a skunkiness. It reminds me of drinking a Corona, and that's just not something I go for.
Right.
You know? But let's rate them.
Well, so what do you got for the Black IPA?
I'm going to give that a 2 donuts out of 5. Meaning I would drink it again, more so if somebody was like, hey, let me buy you one, maybe. It took me a while to finish that little glass we had. It's not like we had a big old tall.
No, they were
little, like sample-y type size glasses.
6 ounces, 6 ounces.
Yeah.
So.
I sipped on that for a long time. It wasn't bad. I want to be opposed to it. Like, it's not like I tasted it and told her to dump it. 2 is a solid. If you don't listen to our show regularly, you're just joining. 2 and up is where we say, yeah, I'd buy that again.
Yeah.
Getting near 5 is where we go, yeah, I'd shank a child in the earlobe for that.
Yeah, I would go after somebody for it.
So yeah, 2 out of 5. I'll give it 2 donuts out of 5.
Okay, I give it a 3. I give it a straight up 3. I liked
figured
it.
You'd be a little higher than me.
I liked it. I would definitely get it again. I recommend it. But I haven't had, and I'll be honest, I haven't had anything over at Outerbelt that I didn't like. And I've had pretty much everything on their menu that they keep.
They got a good sized menu.
Yeah, I think they have 13 or 14 items just on tap. And it's all their stuff.
And they have soda.
And they have soda.
Which is funny because on their menu it's spelled out with those colorful magnets.
Like
if
little kid magnets, yeah.
Fridge magnets.
Yep.
It said soda, $3.
So
boiling, whatever, bottling, root beer.
My girls always get. When
Cane sugar root beer.
And they didn't have one today, but they'll have food trucks over there. And
yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
I had a couple pieces of gourmet bread for lunch, like little tiny whatever. So anyway, what are we rating the Dippin' Dots?
So the Double Dippin', what do you give that?
I'm giving that one a 2.5.
A 2.5. Ooh.
Yeah, that's definitely if I was going to choose between the two, that's one I would go back there and actually order that one. I like that one.
Okay.
It's definitely a sipper for me. But I'm not a beer guy. I'm not going to go out and drink a bunch of beer. If I have one, I'm good. And that would be one that I would order over the Black IPA.
The Black IPA.
Yeah, I really liked how it didn't have as strong an aftertaste. That aftertaste on the IPA is what got me, I think.
Okay. See, and I see those two as having almost the same aftertaste, one being stronger than the other.
It could be. I've never professed to have the greatest palate for tasting beers.
I don't either. I can hear, but I can't.
Yeah, so... but yeah, I like that one better. Of the two, that would be the one that I would pick.
Well, and keep in mind, like, these aren't ones you go over there and chug and sit.
No,
these are everything they make. Those sippers.
2 little samplings of beers, we were there almost 2 hours.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, because
you got here right around 2:30,
45 or something.
Yeah,
and yeah, of the two, I'd go for that second one, the Double Dippin'.
We were also bullshitting with people.
Oh yeah,
so
but that's what it is. We're not going over there we're not going to a dive bar and pounding Bud Lights all night. You know, it's gross. that was a sipper and a chill and take it easy.
Yeah, kind of enjoy it. Yeah, I give it a 3.5 on the
nice.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3.5. I'm gonna bump it. I like that Black IPA, but after that Double Dippin', I like that one a little bit more.
Yeah, I think
I would recommend that one a little bit more than the Black IPA.
I would too, unless somebody says they like hoppy IPAs. I'd say go for the Black, but
they're both solid. I mean, they're both solid choices.
No, neither was terrible. But so good service there at Outerbelt. Great atmosphere.
Yeah,
real simple. I like that. Everything's tables. The bar is real big and open. You're not, you're not crammed in there. There wasn't a million people in there. There was. What I loved was they had.
Well, there was probably 40 people there in total.
Might have been more. It's such a big place,
but it's a huge place, so you never run in. You're not you're not,
and everybody there's
over
friendly people that strangers are talking to each other and just being cool people. There's a couple TVs of football on, but the thing I loved the most was we could hear each other without yelling.
Yeah,
I hate going to a restaurant. Clubs back in the day where music's so loud you can't even hear each other screaming. I hate that. So yeah, Outerbelt's a great little place to go just to chill.
Yeah, that's where
we were watching the Browns and Bengals go back and forth to see who sucks the most in Ohio. And,
right.
Yeah.
Well, there's no winners there. So
no, we're all losers.
To the Browns and the Bengals, there's no winners.
So,
sorry, Craig. Your God's Tigers are just okay.
They're not even okay. They're 1-11. They're trash. Oh, they're absolute garbage. So bad. But
yeah, you just got back from vacation. So.
I did. We go every year, save for last year and maybe a couple others here and there. Last year I had a hernia surgery and Beth just had Judd, so we missed it. But we go down to the Gatlinburg area. We have a friend that owns a cabin outside town in the mountains, and we go down every year. And this year, I used to go to the Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery, and I get so tired of hearing people say that's not real moonshine. Get off your high horse. It's a distillery.
You can't make real moonshine and sell it in a store.
No. And here's the thing too. Everybody that says that, if you buy them a jar of Old Smoky Blue Flame at 126 proof, I guarantee you they're not going to sit there and chug it.
It's not moonshine.
That is straight ethanol that comes right off a still. Ugh. I don't care what anybody says. It's terrible.
It's like that Stillwater shit I gave you in the jerry can.
I dumped that stuff out.
I was going to dump it out.
I kept the can for a while because it looked cool. I think I ended up throwing that away finally.
Oof.
I had it set up on our cabinet, and finally I was just like, bah. I just threw it away.
No point. Unless you're putting gasoline in it.
I would say it looks like an old fuel can. That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
It tastes like old fuel, too.
Ugh.
But no, I didn't go to that distillery. I didn't go. I went to 3 places looking for Virgil cane. On the way home, did not find any. But
that's a shame.
It is. When we were leaving Sevierville, I saw a place that said, had a big sign out front, real big store. I don't even remember the name of it. It said basically moonshine, spirits, and wine or something like that.
Okay.
So we spun around, pulled in there, and I went in and noticed real quickly that when it said spirits and moonshine, they make their own. It wasn't a liquor store. I wasn't going to find anything from Buffalo Trace, any Virgil Cane, nothing there. They only sold what they make. So their shelves are packed with moonshine predominantly. They had some award winners like a coffee flavored moonshine, a peanut butter cup. Now here's, you make a face. I'm telling
making
you,
a face.
The three I tried, now they give you these very, very tiny, you know, the church communion cups?
Yeah.
They had some that were like half that size, super tiny.
So it's
enough
just
for you to taste.
A taste.
Yeah, like it was, and they said you can only get up to 8 of those. Well, there's only 3 I wanted to try: salted caramel, coffee, and peanut butter.
Okay.
And the peanut butter had actually they had bottles on display, but it had this thing hanging where it said it won some award. So I was like, well, let me try them. Of the 3, the coffee was phenomenal. I think you would love it. It was, it tasted, it was a liqueur. It wasn't moonshine.
Right.
So they made moonshine. They did some liqueurs. And then they also said they had bourbon. So, of course, being the show we are, I went, let's talk about that bourbon. I didn't try it because I wanted it to be a first time here.
Okay.
If I bought it, they had 2 kinds. This, you've got the bottle. I can't see it. It's called Kingsnake.
Kingsnake. It is born in Sevierville, sorry.
Yeah.
It is a premium small batch Tennessee legend.
So this is aged only 2 years. This is super young. Corn whiskey, aged 2 years to make it a bourbon. 2 years is the bare minimum.
2 years is
quote unquote a bourbon.
Well, and I get why they're only doing it 2 years to make a bourbon. It is expensive.
Yeah. Well, you're putting a lot of money in barrels for years.
Well, whatever you fill a barrel with. So let's say a barrel is 40 gallons.
Oh yeah, you lose the angel share.
You lose
the devil share. By the time you're done, you've got about 25 gallons.
You're still paying on that 40 gallons.
And we've talked about that before.
Yeah. So you're still paying tax on that total amount that you actually put into it.
And you'll lose about 15 gallons of that 40.
Right.
Give or take. I mean, it depends on where your rack house is and stuff and temperature
fluctuations.
But yeah, so they aged this 2 years, called it a bourbon. I went, well, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
So she said,
they may not be right either.
Do you want? Yeah, they may not. And I said, this one's, I think, 90 proof.
Yes.
Pretty high octane. She said, do you want the 90 proof or the 120 proof? I went, no. I don't need 120 proof moonshine you've had in a barrel for 2 years. I said, just give us the 90. And I told her what I was doing. I said, we review these and we're very honest about it. They had another one called, this is Kingsnake. They had one called Cobra something.
Did it come in a 40 ounce?
It actually came in a really cool bottle. It's a little roundish bottle. It was kind of neat. But it was only they didn't call that a bourbon, really. They called it a whiskey.
Okay.
It was only aged 6 months. It looked very light. So I went, well, give me the one that's aged 2 years at least. You know, same price. So they did all the flavors of moonshine, all the liqueurs, and then they, are trying their hand at making aged whiskey and bourbon. So I thought, well, Martelle said to get him some Virgil Cane or something we can't get back here like Bland's. This is something you cannot get here.
This is definitely something you can't get here.
Only buy it there in Sevierville. I don't think it's even sold outside of their store.
So do you want to try it now or do you want to keep telling us about your vacation? Then we'll try it here in a bit.
It doesn't matter.
Or do you want to try it now and then talk about your vacation?
Let's try it, and then I'm going to give... I've been going down there for over 30 years. I'm going to give folks some of my favorite places to go in the Smoky Mountains. So let's give her a sniff and a taste.
I'll tell you what, right off the bat on the nose, caramel, toffee, and vanilla.
It smells like a bourbon.
It is.
I mean, but...
It is a bourbon.
It smells like a bourbon that's been aged longer. We've tried bourbons that have been aged up to about 12 years.
Right.
Usually the bourbons we try are somewhere between 6 and 8 years. This doesn't smell bad.
It doesn't smell bad. I'm hesitant. Like, I'm super
Martelle,
hesitant about this one.
When I said it was a bourbon and showed him the bottle, he said, well, we'll see if it's a bourbon.
We'll
he said,
call it a whiskey.
even if it's legally a bourbon, he said, I might just call it a whiskey. We'll see.
Well, I've just started calling everything whiskey. I'm calling rum whiskey.
Everything's
a
Vodka,
whiskey. Whiskey. It's just clear
Orange
whiskey.
cream soda, whiskey. All right, let's give her a taste. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go first. And no disgusted face.
Nope. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah?
This tastes like the Willet still bottle,
Shut up.
but smoother.
No way. The Willet's
Better.
$100 bottle.
It's not. No, it's a $60 bottle. But
Oh, okay. I was looking
Go
at the
ahead.
big. There's a liquor barn that had the big bottle.
oh no,
I'm so
no, I've
hungry.
got the still pot bottle.
This tastes like Willet Still Pot?
You give that a try, and I'm tempted to run downstairs and get that just so we can compare it next to it.
That's not bad.
That is not bad at all.
For 2 years?
I did not have high hopes for this in any way, shape,
And it was
or
like
form.
$24.
That is stupid cheap.
Now there's the burn. I'm feeling the burn now.
I didn't get any burn.
Just in the chest, not on the taste. Nothing?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got the good burn. It's not bad.
I actually have chills right now.
I'm
'Cause
surprised.
I'm surprised.
I'm pretty happy because aged 2 years, I didn't know what to think.
No, this is
What's
surprisingly.
does it have the distillery name somewhere on the bottle? Because I forget where.
It just says Tennessee legend, born and raised in Sevierville, Savageville, Tennessee. It just says Kingsnake, aged 2 years, straight bourbon whiskey. So maybe it's Tennessee legend is the distillery.
It could be. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's bottled by Crystal Falls Spirits. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the distillery, but
No, if you
That's the
go, if you're
bottling
heading towards Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg in Tennessee, you come off of 40, and it's on the right, headed into Sevierville.
wow,
That's not bad.
no. And I'm not huge on young whiskey either, and young bourbons.
And this is definitely young.
This is it's at the minimum for a bourbon. 2 years.
Yep, 2 years.
It's good. It's
Looking at
real
my,
good.
Tennessee Legend is what it's called, the distillery.
Yeah. So Tennessee Legend.
Where
It
my
is
cardinals are. Oh, I was wrong on the price. It's about $35.
either way. That's still
Yeah, it's not bad.
it's not bad. I would easily pay $35. I would probably pay $40 for this.
Well,
max.
It was $38.40 with tax and everything.
Yeah, I mean at $40 max. I would
For a
definitely put in
2-year?
for this for a 2 year that tastes like that.
That ain't bad.
Holy shit, they're doing something right. I'd like to see what they can do with an 8 year.
It's really smooth.
It is.
I'm shocked.
Now I kind of wish you got the 120 bottle.
Well, next time I'll know. And again, I didn't try it there because I wanted us to have.
You wanted it.
I like natural reactions.
Yeah.
That's what we do on this show. I tried the 3 little sniffs of the soda caramel, the coffee liqueur, and the peanut butter.
I just got some up my nose.
I love snorting bourbon over here. I love the coffee. I almost bought that, but I was trying to bring some.
What do you think
back.
about the peanut butter one?
It wasn't bad. I could see why it won awards. It wasn't overly peanut butter tasting.
Because there is one down here in Giant Eagle that is a peanut butter flavor. Now, every time I walk by, I'm like, oh, no.
No, I liked it. The one down there I liked. I liked the coffee better. But it tasted like drinking a coffee with creamer in it. Like it was something I could take and put on the rocks like a nice coffee.
Yeah.
And sit out and read the newspaper in the morning on kind of a brisk morning on the porch. Like it was, or sit there in the evening with a good pipe and just puff on it. It was really good. I like the peanut butter. The coffee though, I loved.
So Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the one they have down there that I've walked by it several times. Been like, I don't know. And I've said to other people like, it's great. Get it. The only flavored whiskey I like is Virgil Cane's ginger.
Yeah.
I mean that.
But we never know if we don't go. It will never shine if we don't grow.
And it's available at Ralph's, Rite Aid, Safeway, and Save Mart.
None of those we have here. Get screwed. Hashtag get screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we need to try that.
So maybe I'll see about picking up a bottle of Screwball. Or, hey, Screwball, send us a sample.
You send us a sample
You send us a sample.
We will do you a solid, a free review if we like it. We will do what we've done for Virgil Cane and 2Bitch and send people your way. When we've had people that travel out of state go buy, on our recommendation, their bourbons.
Yeah, I mean,
we will do the same for you.
I get people all the time like, hey, I was just down so-and-so, this place, picked up some Virgil Cane. Hey, I'm heading out to Nevada. You want a bottle of 2Bitch?
And they're making drinks with it because of us. They're trying new things.
Yeah, so we don't have a mass following, but we have enough of a following.
We have enough following that if you give us one bottle, you will make back your money and then some. But if it sucks, I'm also going to say it sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to say it sucks.
We will be very honest.
I was super hesitant about this Kingsnake, this from Tennessee
Legend. When I pulled
Legend.
it out of the bag,
you
saw the 2-year and you kind of chuckled and said, let's go to Outerbelt, and we left.
Yeah.
That's how the start of the... I'm shocked by this. What do you give this?
You know what? I'm easily going to give this a 2.5.
Yeah.
Easily. I want to see what they could... I would love to see what they could do with 4,
and I think
6,
they're newer.
8 year.
Now, I wasn't there last year, but 2 years ago, this place wasn't even there. The building wasn't even there. It's a whole building and strip mall with them now.
They're a new.
It's fairly new, so they may do more age stuff in the future.
Yeah,
I'll keep an eye on it.
I would love to see if they could do an 8-year, what that would end up being like. So if we're still around in 8 years,
I'm giving this a 2.5 as well, and here's why I don't give it a 3. The only reason I don't give it a 3 because I can't get it here. So I've got to be fair to everything else we can't give here.
Right.
Get here.
Not getting it not being available in Ohio is basically a half point off.
Yeah. And that's not a dig on these places. That's
just availability.
Most of our listeners are in Ohio. So we rate accordingly. We rate to what we personally feel it deserves. And that's got no scientific backing to it. That's just our thoughts.
Right.
2.5 out of 5 donuts for us. Most people say, oh, that's only halfway. We're not Amazon.
We don't do. You're not looking at.
You're not going to get a 2-year bourbon. Is not going to get a 3.5 or 4 out of us.
No.
If somebody makes a 2-year gets 3.5 or 4 out of us, everybody should go buy everything they have because.
Well, think about it though. Even so, 2Bitch Pack Leader Reserve is basically a 5 for me. Like, I'm going out of my way to get that. Every time I know someone's going to Nevada, I'm getting it. I'm trying to figure out how to get that shipped here because none of the the lovescotch.com does not ship to Ohio.
We're working on getting barrels from them shipped here.
Yeah, I'm trying to
do
get
something
barrels from the distillery, and so that we can take it over to Outerbelt and get something done with them, or get Outerbelt to buy the barrels just so that we can have a 2-bitch infused stout or IPA or whatever they decide they're going to do with it. But
this year, you need to understand Tennessee Legend. Hopefully, we're going to try and tag you, find you on the Google, Tweetstagrams. Understand 2.5 for an out of state that we can get is very high.
Is good. And what I was saying is Virgil Cane, I think I give them a 4.
You've done 4 to 4.5, I think.
4 to 4.5 on
one
those.
Of theirs you did a 5.
Because they're harder to get.
Yeah.
The same, but not being available in Ohio is an automatic half a point, unfortunately. Because
it is what it is. We're an Ohio-based podcast. So. But yeah, like I said, I go down every year. And I would say if you're looking for something to try, go to Tennessee Legend here in Sevierville. Hit up the Old Smoky Moonshine Distilleries in either Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge.
Get some pickles.
You can get those here in gas stations in Ohio.
I saw them at the Kroger back home in Stephenville.
And then there's also, if you're a wine person, or if you're not, you can do tastings. If you go to the Island in Pigeon Forge, it's where the giant Ferris was. There's an Old Smoky Distillery, and then like 1 or 2. There it is.
There we go.
1 or 2 doors down is wine place where you can do some. It's like $5. You get to taste so many. They've got a beautiful mulberry wine.
Ooh,
beautiful. They've got strawberry wine. They've got all kinds of different flavors and traditional wines. They're really good. But now I'm going to talk about my Rocky top 10 things I recommend doing in Gatlinburg, Tennessee and surrounding areas.
Get it?
So there's no particular order for these. These are things that over the 30 plus years I've been going.
Okay, I added water.
You added water and your face just looked happy. I've still got a little left here. I haven't been
This
drinking
would be a
water.
great daily drinker. Like, just to have
around.
multiple bottles of this just to sit so that you have them.
Yeah. And for the price point, you could.
Oh, right. I mean, you could buy 2 of these for 1 bottle of Blanton's.
Yeah.
I would recommend this over Blanton's.
Oh.
As a daily? Hell yeah.
There is a hit home run for Tennessee legend.
Like this, I would absolutely recommend this over Blanton's.
I was really skeptical buying it because you're a bourbon and whiskey guy, and the whole buying a quote unquote bourbon from a moonshine distillery that's only been aged 2 years, I was really hesitant to buy it, and I bought it for you to see with you in mind, thinking he's going to hate this. It's kind of.
I thought I was going to hate it when you pulled it out of the bag.
So good. I mean, pleasantly surprised. Rated over Blanton's.
It's not. I don't know if it's rated over Blanton's, but I would buy this.
2 bottles of that versus a bottle of Blanton's. That's something you could share and not worry about.
Right. If this was available in Ohio, and Blanton's is available in Ohio, this is going to be on the shelf and Blanton's isn't.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'd be like, pick up a bottle of that Kingsnake. Don't look at me like that. Pick up a bottle of that Kingsnake.
That's even better with water.
Yeah. It opens it right up.
It's very full flavored.
Yeah. I like it.
Very bold.
God damn.
All right. So
anyway, top 10 Rocky Mountain things to do.
Order, the top 10 things I like to do when in Rocky Top, Tennessee. Number 10, we have a guy day. I call this guy stuff. And they're all right next to each other. So this is like a 3-in-1, 4-in-1 kind of deal. There is in Sevierville, not far from Tennessee Legend, there's the knife store. It's got a knife museum, world's largest knife store. Got to go there. They've got everything from the cheap, crappy blades that aren't worth a buck.
Chinese metal. All
the way up to some really, really good high-end crap. So I recommend the knife store. Right next to the knife store is Bud's Gun Shop. Bud's Gun Shop it started in Kentucky, has a location there in Sevierville, Tennessee. It's the world's largest, or country's largest at least, firearms retailer. They have a beautiful range there. If you're a guy that likes to go try a slingshot out, I think we paid $20-25 for an hour on the range. When we walked in, there's nobody there. We tend to go to dead time of the year. It's all high end with the, you put in the distance, hit go, it goes. They give you a target for free when you start. You want a new target. Every target they have there, which they have like 10, 15 different options, it's $1. $1 per target. Yeah. So you go in with a $5 in an hour, you're good. So for $25-30, you can go there. You can bring your own ammo. They don't even question what ammo you have. A lot of rangers are real picky. Mm-hmm. They said, do you need ammo or not? And they let you roll.
I got exploding head
9mm. Yeah. They might be, you got some incendiary rounds. And here's the kicker. You can now rent fully automatic machine guns there. So I highly recommend going to Bud's Gun Shop. Yeah. I did it this time, but next year we may rent some fully automatics just because why not? Right next to them. So these 3 places are all basically almost sharing a parking lot. They've just got like a service road between them.
Okay.
There is a tool store.
I like tools.
This tool store, we have dropped hundreds of dollars in one go at any given time. They have everything, especially if you're an automotive guy. You can get the stools, the creepers, every wrench you need. I've bought forged stuff there. They have wood chiseling kits. They've got power tools. They've got anything you need. And most of it, now they've got the cheap crap there, but they have stuff there that is deeply discounted from where you get at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards.
Right.
And then the fourth place, which is close by, it's not in that same little parking lot of these 3, is the Bass Pro Shop. We went in there and they had high $30-40 shirts marked down to like $10 and $15. It's a large 2-story Bass Pro Shop. Might as well hit it on one day. So I recommend doing a guy's day. If you're like us, if you're me, Martelle, you like tools, knives, guns.
I like things.
Camo, whatever.
Like all the things.
Yeah. It's good just to take a day. Beth and Mom took the kids this time. Me, Dad, and Kev just had a guy's day. I highly recommend it. That's one of my top 10 favorite things to do every time we go down. Number 9, go over the mountain outside of Gatlinburg and go to Cherokee, North Carolina.
Okay.
The cool thing about going to Cherokee is you get to go all the way up to the top. The state line's on top of the mountains. There's a big parking lot you can get out, go see the views, everything like that. There's a place outside Cherokee called the Road to Nowhere. You got to drive to find it. Cool story behind it. Google it. They basically were building this mountain road to a town because they couldn't get to an old cemetery. The town got flooded, became a big lake, and now there's this mountain road that just goes up, goes through a tunnel, and stops.
Is this the same lake that if you were to dive into it, like all the buildings and stuff are all still there and occasionally coffins float up?
I don't know if it's that one, but that's kind of the story I got.
Okay.
At Cherokee, just outside Cherokee, also there's a place called, I think it's called Mingo Falls. Real short hike to a really cool waterfall. And then in Cherokee, they've got, if you go in the summer, you can rent inner tubes, float down the creek, Mountain Creek. They've got bears. You can go see all kinds of shops, but it's really cool. Just drive through the mountains.
You're a bear.
There's a lot of places to pull off, a lot of places, little hiking trails. I definitely recommend taking a trip through the mountains.
Okay.
Forget the laser tag and the putt-putt and all the go-karts.
That's so stupid anyway.
You can do that anytime. Go through the mountains. Find a trail you've never been on, even if you walk a mile. Number 8, Dollywood. When I was growing up, Dollywood was podunk. They had a lot of shows. They had 2 roller coasters. Neither one of them were really outstanding. Now, they've got like 13 or 14 roller coasters. Some of the bigger, faster, cooler roller coasters.
Are they the roller coaster capital of Tennessee?
I don't know. They're not going to beat Kings Island or Cedar Point. Yeah. But for a family trip, it's fantastic. Now, we go, around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time every year.
Yeah.
So they've always got the Christmas parade. They've got the kids' rides. But the thing with Dollywood, it's kind of like Disney, but less creepy. It's it's Southern hospitality, Disney World. It's very courteous, but it's very clean. The staff there is not doing all the crap. We've talked about the hidden stuff at Disney.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get that vibe at Dollywood. And Dollywood has stepped up their game as far as the show quality, the ride quality from when I was a kid. My favorite thing to do there is the old forge.
Okay. Wow.
So you can go to the old, right, for obvious reasons, right? I blacksmith on the side. But they've got hometown bakeries. They've got phenomenal shows, a very talented cast. And most days, if you go after like 1 or 2 or 3, whenever, you can go back the next day for free.
Can I see Dolly Parton's tattoos?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her.
So apparently she is like fully sleeved up.
I don't know.
I want to see him.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I have to go find out. But
is
that's a
Dolly
good family
Parton
one.
There?
In Dollywood, here's the thing with Dollywood too. She has been there.
Well, it's named after her, so she has been there.
Here's the thing with Dollywood. It's not something, it's the opposite of Guys' Day. It's family day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not go to the distilleries and all this. You got to understand when I recommend this is stuff I've been doing for 30 years. These are my top 10 favorite things to do. I'll go to Dollywood for half a day or one day and be good.
Yeah.
So when I say I recommend Dollywood, I do. It's definitely gotten a lot better than it was 15 years ago. They've got way more rides than they used to for adults. But if you're a family guy like me, I've got a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. Man, I had so much fun. Huck was going nuts. He was loving the rides. Judd got around his first rides ever.
Yeah.
They were the 3 or 4 little kiddie rides. And he would one was just, you get in this little pig and it just goes in a circle. And Huck rode with him, He just held the bar and had the most stoic look on his face. He didn't look left or right. He didn't turn his head, nothing. And then it was over. He got upset it was over. So, I'd say go to Dollywood. Number 7, I'm going to start recommending some of my favorite restaurants.
Okay.
Number 7 is one we just tried for the first time this year. Beth and I had a date night, and we went to Bullfish Grill.
Bullfish Grill.
Never been to a Bullfish Grill.
Never heard of it.
There's one right down there in Pigeon Forge. Phenomenal. You walk in, it's a little bit more upscale, a little more pricey of a place. I went in jeans and t-shirt and felt fine, but it's got a nice fireplace, candles on the table.
Oh, you fancy.
The food, I was real fancy. The food there, though, we each had a piece of the bread they brought out. We each ate we split the appetizer and only finished about half of that between the two of us.
Alligator tail.
I wish. Now, Huck Finn's, you can go get alligator tail. That's one of I didn't put on my top 10 list this time, but I recommend Huck Finn's too. It's a close number 11.
I love alligator.
Oh, yeah. You can get Huck Finn's, you can get alligator, rattlesnake, things like that. It's great.
I think that's where Liz and I went when we went down to Nashville.
I don't know. I've never been to one outside Pigeon Forge. It could be.
Know. We went to a place they had alligator tail and catfish and rattlesnake and all kinds of exotic. Kangaroo. They had all kinds of exotic stuff on their menu.
But yeah, Bullfish, if you want a nice dinner, we each ate, like I said, basically half of everything, including half a dessert. We ate half our entrees. I had a bourbon glazed salmon with rice pilaf and I forget what kind of potatoes. Phenomenal.
That sounds amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Our bill with a decent tip, you're going to look to spend probably with two people if you do appetizer, dessert, and everything. You're looking to spend probably 75 to 100.
Okay.
With tip.
That's not terrible.
And it made multiple meals for us. We literally had a bag full because we ate half of about everything. There's so much food we ordered. It wasn't bad. Highly recommend it. Number 6, another new thing we tried. Mom and Dad wanted to do this, so the whole family went. We took the boys and everything. There's now a pirate show there. I went into this. Now, we did it for Huck, and we thought Judd's won. Mom and Dad are older, obviously. Beth and I are in our mid-30s. Kev's early 30s. This will be fun for Huck,
right?
Pretty much. It's set up that now if you ever went to the old Dixie Stampede, where it's an arena and you're at either side, they bring you out the appetizer, they bring you out soup, fried chicken, and all that.
What was the name of your waitress? Like, was she like a wench?
No, it was a guy, and they were all dressed up though. But it's the same thing where you sit up in a bench, they were actually chairs, but you sit in this arena and watch the show, and they bring out the food and they do the singing and the dancing. I walked out of there. Dad, Kevin, and I were standing talking while Mom and Beth and the boys were all in the bathroom after the show. Amazing. The lights, they had a fire twirler, swallower, cracking whips, light the water on fire guy. Phenomenal show. They had people diving into the water from 30 and 40 feet in the air. They did trapeze acts diving into the water. They did those things where like 3 guys get on a big swinging platform, jumping into the water and doing all acrobatics.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They dropped trampolines, and this whole thing, it was cool because the time of the year we go down, so I know if I go down in the spring or summer, it'd be a different show. It was Christmas themed. So they did a pirate Christmas carol, basically, where the spirit of Christmas came out and all this and showed the bad pirate, I forget his name, hey, all you've been caring about is your gold. There's more to Christmas than this. I went into this thinking my kid's going to love this pirate show. I'm going to have to buy him like a $35 tricorner hat when we leave in an eye patch, which I didn't. The show, I walked out of there going, I would pay to see that again.
I would love to see Huck in a tricorn
with the whole pirate get up.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got an eye patch stuff he wears now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He's full on 5-year-old boy. But baby Judd, little 1-year-old, was standing up on our laps. We kind of passed him back and forth, but he was dancing. He was into it. It entertained everybody from 1-year-old all the way up to my parents. My dad's like 437. Every single one of us loved this show. Highly recommend it. I didn't expect it. I was blown away how much I enjoyed it. The cast with all their gymnastics, they were sword fighting, jumping, doing all these weird acrobatics, and then they had competitions. They're swinging on ropes back and forth from platforms. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
Number 5, forging. In Pigeon Forge, there's a place that you can actually go forge your own knife made from a railroad spike or a horseshoe, something like that. You can take the kids and they can forge a small knife. Highly recommend it. Good experience. You pay, you get to put on the apron and all that and go back and actually forge out a knife, take it home. You get a sheath with it.
I want to forge a sword.
They don't do swords there.
I didn't ask him if they did. Sword's just a big knife.
Yeah. Very big knife.
Yeah.
Hard to have a railroad spike.
We'll put a couple of them together.
Okay. We'll have 2 rower spikes together.
Yeah. Machete.
And a machete.
Machete.
Yeah, the foraging though, there's a lot of places down there where you can get into looking at custom forged objects. You can watch blacksmiths work like at Dollywood.
It is called Pigeon Forge.
It is. They forge pigeons there. That's where pigeons come from. That's a known fact.
Right.
But yeah, I'd highly recommend there. It's behind the Old Mill Restaurant, and you can go there. You can watch the blacksmiths work, or you can forge yourself. It's something unique. You get to take home something you made.
Right.
So it's a cool experience. I didn't do it this year because I forge here now.
You have a forge at home.
But yeah, a couple years ago, when I wanted to learn to make my own knives, I was just doing finish work. I went there before I bought my own forge, and I still have it. The first knife I ever forged was from that place behind the Old Mill in Pigeon Forge.
You should make war tomahawks.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
So that we can throw them.
So we can throw them at each other.
Right.
Number 4, Comedy Barn. I've been to the Comedy Barn. I haven't been there in 3 or 10 years. No, it hasn't been that long. Highly recommend the Comedy Barn. Every time I've gone, I know what they do. Like, they have like a scripted show, but they change it often enough that every year you get something a little different, but they involve the audience so much and play off of that. So you go to a show, say you go to a 6 o'clock show. Well, depending on how that audience member that they pull on stage reacts or how the crowd reacts, it'll change from their 8:30 show or whatever. So every time I've gone, it's been something different, and I've always left there laughing so hard I'm crying.
Have you been up on stage?
I have not. They've never picked me to be on stage.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Then someone needs to record
I'd get a DVD
that.
if so.
Yeah.
Well, you can buy the DVDs I'd definitely pay for it. If you go on YouTube and go to Comedy Barn, put in like Comedy Barn Laugh probably. There is a well-known like viral video from, it was early 2000s, where this guy's laugh was so funny that they drugged the show on for like an extra hour. Ooh. It was hilarious. Great family entertainment. This is another one of those things, like I'm recommending a wide spectrum of things, obviously, from moonshine tasting to taking the kids to see pirates.
And making swords.
Right. Number 3, Mount LeConte. Mount LeConte is a mountain that has, I hiked it in 2012 when I was skinny.
LeConte.
Yes. LeConte. Not how you want to spell it.
Cunte.
Right.
Conte.
There are 4 trails up. There's a lodge up there where you can have dinner and breakfast the next day and rent a cabin, but it pretty much books like 6 months in advance. The cabins literally have like a wash basin in them and a propane heater and a full-size bunk bed. That's it. The only way they get supplies up there, one of the 4, sorry, I think there's 5 trails, alpacas.
Damn it.
An alpaca team every Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday take supplies up and trash down the mountain. I hiked the Alum Cave Bluff Trail. It was at 2.3 miles up. You get this big overhang where they used to mine saltpeter. I don't know if they had mined any other kind of peters out of there, but salty peters they mined out of this area.
They like the salty peters.
Right. Another 2.3 miles or so up, you get to the top. So it's 5.5, 6 miles to the top. I hiked up it, and this is when I was in shape, by myself in 4 hours. Some of the most beautiful and peaceful views I've ever seen on the face of this planet came during that hike.
Big salty peters.
Big salty peters as far as the eye could see. And I highly recommend it. I actually got to see a bald eagle fly through one of those. You know how sometimes the mountain has a hole in it, like the arch?
Yeah.
I saw a bald eagle fly through one of those.
With a rabbit?
No.
Oh.
Had the American flag. And it was wearing a Make America Great Again hat back in 2012.
And a bandana.
And a bandana. And it was driving a Trans Am.
America. I think his name's Rodney.
But even, Chet. Even if you only go halfway up to the 2.3 miles, the first 2.3 miles is fairly easy. Most people can walk it. They have cut out steps on the climbing parts. They have handrails for crossing the river.
For the old people.
It's a beautiful hike. So they said most people hike up to the halfway point and then eat a meal and hike back down, or have a snack and hike back down. Absolutely beautiful. Next, number 2, Roaring Fork Road. Most people that go to Gatlinburg have been to or heard of Cades Cove, where you get to drive down and see a bunch of old homesteads. That's a really cool place if you've never been to go to Cades Cove, but Roaring Fork Road outside of Gatlinburg, has some of the coolest mountain views and homesteads I've ever seen. They have houses and barns that have stood for 200 years untouched. Wow. My profile picture on Facebook actually was taken in 2012 at one of the homesteads on Roaring Fork Road, and I haven't changed it since.
Are they active homesteads, or are they just historical sites?
These are just historical. You can go, you can walk through them, but they're not active. Okay. They have like an old mill that's by the creek running off the mountain. You get to see things like that, but there are some shops along the trail because it's a road you drive and you can pull over and stop wherever at all the homesteads and read the history, and you can see the old church, you can see the old mill, and there's some shops, but none of these homesteads are active. Okay. It's kind of like Kate's Cove, but less known, I guess. And then my number one, this one is the only one I put in order.
Number one,
Smoky Mountain Brewery.
Smoky Mountain Brewery.
I meant to bring all 4 of their beers for you to try, and I forgot to get any of their beers for you to try. But they make...
You were supposed to bring a steak back, too.
I brought 2 steaks back.
In dry ice.
I did not bring you one. I forgot. I brought them back
Forgot the beer and the steak.
For my buddy Derek and his wife Jess. We went there Monday for our first lunch down in Tennessee and got the L steak. If you are ever in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, go to Smoky Mountain Brewery, order the L steak, medium, get the side, you get 2 sides, get broccoli with beer cheese, get the mashed potatoes because they smash them there like they're real mashed potatoes. You get, I eat my broccoli, take the beer cheese,
put it on the potatoes,
over the potatoes, eat the potatoes. While I'm doing that, the butter they put on top of the steak is slowly melting. That steak is the best steak I've ever had. You can get a 7-ounce for only 14 and some change.
Steak right now.
A 10-ounce is only $18. And it is I paid $100 a plate before at a steak place. This is the best steak you can get anywhere. I don't care what anybody says. Smoky Mountain Brewery and Grill, my number one hot spot. There's a lot of other things I like to do around Pigeon Forge and Smoky Mountain. We went to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum, Beth and I. 3.5 hours, we got halfway through.
Well, is that where the picture you sent me from Pretty Boy Floyd?
Yes.
One of the bullets?
Yeah, they go through the Salem Witch Trial, they go through pirates, they go through the Wild West, all the way up through the gangsters and mobsters of New York and Chicago, up to 9/11, active shooting, all the way to the day. They've got OJ's real Broncos there.
What?
Yeah. The OJ Bronco is there. They've got a few other replicas of cars, like the Bonnie and Clyde car. They have a whole...
Are you sure it's not a replica?
No, that one...
There were a lot of white Broncos this one, in the 90s.
And I know it just got bought recently, but it says this is, in fact, the Bronco that OJ was in.
I wonder how OJ Simpson feels about that.
Because the other 3 cars they have there... Is
he going to go in and rob the place?
I don't know. He'll probably kill somebody, take it. The other 3 cars say they're replicas. It says a car like this was used.
Yeah.
A car, that one says, yes, it literally says on the sign, yes, this is the Bronco. So I don't know why did they say the other 3 replicas and then lie about that one. But,
hey,
that's where I see in the picture. It was a cool place, but my number one place, if you go to Smoky Mountains, to the Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg area, you have to go to the brewery. There's one in Pigeon Forge, one in Gatlinburg. We go to the one in Pigeon Forge usually, sit at a nice round table so we can all talk to each other easily and all order a steak. My brother hates steak because he grew up eating it well done back here at all the cheap places. And it's always chewy.
Your brother is un-American.
Now he knows what a real steak is.
Kevin needs to come on the show and be a real American.
On the show.
We need to play. If we ever get Kevin on this show, we're going to play Hulk Hogan's Real American theme song.
No, he ain't coming on the show.
I know. We've tried twice.
We've tried. He don't care.
Both Pumpkin Show episodes. That's awesome. Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg are 2 places that I have not been that I would like to go to at some point.
Oh, dude, the beautiful... I've got a picture. Just driving down the strip Pigeon Forge, you're looking at a beautiful mountain range on a clear day.
Yeah, so yeah,
and if you go, we'll get you into my buddy's cabin. You can't beat it. It's on private property, so you're not surrounded by people. It's like you got 100 other cabins around you.
Because we know how much I love people.
Right, exactly. It'd be perfect for you. But yeah, it's one of my favorite places to go. If I were to move out of Ohio, I'd probably go to Tennessee or Mountain, North Carolina, not coastal. maybe Montana or Colorado, somewhere like that.
Yeah,
but
see,
I love the mountains.
I would definitely be coastal on the Carolina side, but if I was going south and heading towards like Tennessee or Mississippi, it would be mountain.
Yeah, I love it. I love the mountains. But yeah, I could go on and on. If anybody has any questions about what they want, looking for ideas of stuff to do, we've done about everything. There's a few restaurants I haven't tried. There's a new one called the Local Goat that just says a new American restaurant. It was standing room only outside on a cold night when Beth and I went out for a date. I said, I'm not standing outside for 2 hours for a table.
No.
We went to Bullfish, got seated right away. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend Bullfish. Yeah, the Alcatraz East Crime Museum, if you're into true crime, some of the stuff we mentioned, like Pretty Boy Floyd, or we've talked about serial killers, they've got like real artifacts in there from Manson, Ed Gein's tooth, John Wayne Gacy's clown suits, yeah, and letters. They've got artwork from a lot of these prisoners. They've got a whole and stuff. They've got some stuff from the Wild West that says a gun like this was used. The Tommy gun in Scarface,
Yeah.
it's there.
Oh.
2 pistols from Godfather. They're there. A lot of stuff from Bonnie
So they
and Clyde.
even have stuff like movies.
They've got some
memorabilia
movie
type of
props.
stuff.
Yeah, and it says this character, Al Pacino Scarface was loosely based on, and it gives a history of who it really was based on. And 2 of my favorite things, Bonnie and Clyde had some artifacts from their car, including a blood-stained piece of glass windshield. They had wood floorboards stained with Jesse James blood.
That's awesome.
So there's like some real cool artifacts in this place. So highly recommend that. It's definitely a full day thing. Beth and I, like I said, we were there like 3.5 hours and got about halfway through. And then we just had to go walk through it to get out and go get dinner because we were starving. Highly recommend that too. I didn't put it on my list, but yeah, if you guys,
it's an honorable mention.
Tell us something you like about that area. I know a lot of people, vacation there.
I have friends who actually own a cabin, I think, down that way.
Yeah, you should go stay there.
The plan is to make a trip down there at some point. But that's awesome. I mean, it's a trip that I need to make.
It's 6 hours. You can take your kids there and do all of the tightrope
you can
courses,
do it as a weekend.
zip line, and yeah, you could. And then you can go back another time with just you and the wife or some older friends and have an adult weekend. There's so much to do for every age range there.
I think Tennessee when we went down to Nash Vegas, Nashville, that was like a 6-hour drive. And Liz and I just went down for the weekend.
Yeah.
We went down for a long week. We left on a Friday, came back on a Monday.
Yeah. You could do that here.
And it wasn't a terrible drive. We went, down through Kentucky into Tennessee and hit the Nash Vegas strip. And it was fun.
Yeah.
We stayed outside of Nashville
I've never been to Nashville, actually.
It would be a hell of a lot better if there wasn't a shitload of bachelorette parties down there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That'll ruin it for you.
It didn't ruin it. It was just like every time you turn around, here's a group of women that are drunk off their ass riding on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Like one of those gigantic rolling bars that they have to pedal. And half of them aren't pedaling because, God forbid, they actually do some work. But there were so many bachelorette parties when Liz and I went down, I think it was like 3 years ago, this past August. It was a fun time, and we had a great time. We were on Sirius XM radio and talking to the DJ. And
if you've been to Nashville, you definitely got to get to. Now, Gatlinburg, since you haven't been, Pigeon Forge has a lot of stuff for the kids. It's got tons of putt-putt, go-karts, arcades.
I'm not taking the kids.
Gatlinburg, if you ever do.
Yeah.
Gatlinburg's got a lot of that too, but Gatlinburg's got Ripley's Aquarium. That's also one of the things I love. We did that this year.
Never been to a Ripley's Aquarium.
It's awesome.
There's one in Myrtle Beach, and we've never been to it.
Yeah, this one's good. We really enjoyed the time there. They're in Gatlinburg now. They have that sky bridge that you walk across. It's one of the biggest, highest, tallest, longest bridges, whatever.
Right.
There's indoor putt-putt there, but Gatlinburg, you can walk up and down the strip. There's lots of shops, restaurants, like Bubba Gump's is there. I don't recommend Bubba Gump's.
I've been to one. I'm not a big fan.
There's a place near Bubba Gump's in Gatlinburg, same side of the road, called Blaine's. It's a kind of like a Cheers type bar. Phenomenal burgers. So yeah, anything in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, we've probably either done it or it's on my list to do. But email us, leave us a review, write us, let us know what you like to do in that area.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is something that
it's something I want to do. I just haven't done it yet. Like,
well, you got to go and then form your own Rocky top 10 list.
Well, maybe top 2.
Yeah, whatever.
But, yeah, that's great. Like,
had a great time.
That's good.
Glad to be back. Back to work tomorrow, so we'll see.
I'm glad you're back.
Head back. Did you miss me?
I did.
Did you think about me every night?
Not every night. I thought about you like once where I'm like, oh, what are we going to do for a show?
You thought about the podcast. You think about
shit.
Me. Yeah, it was good, though. We had another good trip. Baby Judd's first trip to Tennessee. So,
real quick, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
I know you had Thanksgiving like where you did.
Well, yeah, we did the families, this, that. But our actual Thanksgiving day was just the same group, basically, with my Aunt Carla's mom, dad, Carla, me, Beth, Kevin, and the boys. And we deep fried 2 turkeys. Did 2 different injections, let them sit overnight, whatever, and marinate, and had enough food for probably 25, 30 people. So there's a lot of leftovers. I mean, when you deep fry 2 turkeys, there's
leftovers.
Yeah. Well, we end up freezing a lot of that turkey, and then through the year, Mom will make turkey salad, or we'll have turkey sandwiches. It's always good.
Nice.
So, how was yours?
It was very sad. Not to bring the show down, but it was sad.
Yeah.
My grandmother passed away on the Tuesday before, and it was my sister and I were at the house, and so it was just kind of a humdrum.
Yeah.
Like, we made the best of it. It wasn't the greatest. This is probably the first. I think this is the first time I've actually mentioned anything to anybody about my grandmother passing away.
Yeah, we talked at Outerbelt. And you said, yeah, I haven't told anybody.
Just really haven't told. I didn't tell anybody at work
on the podcast,
right? To the whole world,
all 7 of the world that listen.
But
8, maybe 8 now.
She was 91. I mean, she lived a long life, and so
91's it's a hell of a run.
It is a hell of a run. Her mom lived to be over 100. So
it's like, geez, somewhere
she was like 105.
Wow.
I mean, she was up there. But we made the best of it. We did, the usual. We did your turkey, stuffing, potatoes, sweet potatoes,
right?
Green bean, or no, we didn't do green bean casserole. Noodles. My sister and brother-in-law came up from Florida, and it was me and the Liz and the girls and my aunt. So that Thursday night, but it was, and I stuck around and cleaned up the house, and we got things situated, moved things around. It was humdrum. It was kind of like, it's Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens next year. I think the plan is next year to do something, change it up a bit. A lot of it. So, as in go somewhere else and let somebody cater Thanksgiving. But we'll see what happens.
You should have the brewery cater some steak.
I want a steak right now.
I do now. I haven't eaten a lot today, so now I'm really hungry. I'm here way later than I thought I'd be today. It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. And real quick, just want to finish out the show. We have a pseudo sponsor. Randy doesn't know about this.
Oh.
But it is, I'm putting it out there. It is Brave Browser. So if you need a new browser,
okay,
definitely check out Brave Browser. It's built on Chrome. It is a lot faster than Chrome is, or IE, or Firefox, or any of the other browsers. Plus, it has built-in ad blocking, so you don't get tracked. You don't get tracked by Facebook or Twitter, or Instagram, or any of the websites you go to. It blocks all the cookies and everything else. The only thing I ask is, if you are going to support us with it, please download it and install it. Leave it on your machine for about 30 days. I could care less if you use it or not. I will post a link on our Facebook page and Twitter so that you can access it to give us credit for the download. But other than that, check it out. I use it every day. Love it. On my personal machine and on my iPad and my Android phone.
Nice.
So download it, use it, and just check it out. Definitely check it out. It blocks all the tracking bullshit so that, you don't get those stupid Facebook ads. You don't get Amazon ads. And then you can also choose your search engine, whether you want to use like DuckDuckGo or Bing or Google. Bing. I use DuckDuckGo because they don't track you either.
What if Bing is just one man Googling as fast as he can and doing his best?
That would be amazing. He's a super, super fast guy. Anyway.
All right.
So I think we're going to close it down. We had some news stories and some other stuff to go over, but I think we'll do that for next week. We have our Christmas show coming up.
Yes.
We are trying to line up 2 friends of ours.
Yes.
To come be on the show simultaneously because they love Christmas.
They love us.
Yeah, we want to get DJ back again because we had DJ on for last show, the last Christmas episode. And then I want to get my friend Brian in to be on the show as well.
Well, we need DJ on because we haven't had JJ on. Like a few months ago we had JJ. We need a minority.
Another J.
Different ethnicity every once in a while.
Absolutely. But my friend Bob loves Christmas. Like legitimately gets super excited when Christmas comes around. Like favorite time of the year. So trying to get him, he's a high school friend of mine, goes back to elementary school. So stay tuned for that. Definitely stick around. And that's it. That's the show.
We're done.
That's it. We're out. We will talk to y'all later. I'm Martelle. He's Randy. We're out.
Peace.
Pinkies up.